Now let's have a look at determining similar triangles by examining their sides. Since similar triangles have the same shape, but not necessarily the same size, you can't just look at whether or not the sides are equal to each other like you do with congruence. Rather, you look at whether or not the sides are in the same proportion or the same ratio. Now, what you have to be careful of is determining which sides correspond to each other. So just like when looking at congruent triangles, to look at which sides are corresponding, in this original triangle, what I like to do is look at the triangles as their sides as the smallest, and I'll compare that to the smallest triangle in the answer. So I'm going to compare the sides 3 and 5. Similarly, 5 is the middle side, it's between 3 and 6, so 8 is between 5 and 11. And then the largest side, of course, is 6. And I'm going to compare that with the largest side in the answer, which is 11. So, color-coded, those are the corresponding sides. And to determine whether or not triangles are similar, I need to see if these are in the same ratio. So I'm going to compare 3 to 5, and I'll just use a fraction to visualize the ratio there. And I'm going to ask myself, well, is 3 to 5 the same thing as 5 to 8? Again, notice the color coding. And I'm going to also ask, well, is that the same as 6 to 11? So I'm not really writing this as an equation, I'm asking myself, is this equation true? Now, if the numbers were really awkward, I would type these into a calculator. These are nice whole numbers. There are various ways to determine whether or not this equation is true. One way is to cross multiply. If you say, well, 3 times 8 is 24, 5 times 5 is 25, that means these fractions are not the same, and that means that those triangles are not similar. Now, you have to determine the same thing with the other triangle, so there is a bit of work here, but you would do that in the same way. So what we would do is, again, I would color code this. The smallest side is 3. The smallest side is 0.3. The medium or middle side is 5. The middle side is 0.5. And then the largest side is 6. And the largest side is 0.7. And you really don't even need to write this one down. We have 3 to 0.3, 5 to 0.5, 6 to, wait a minute, if these were similar, this would be 0.6. But as you can see, this is 0.7. So what that means is neither one of these triangles are similar to the triangle that's in our original problem. So, in short, to determine whether triangles are similar by looking at their sides, you just look at the ratio or the fractions when you compare their corresponding sides. Hope that helped.